Since forming Run the Jewels, rap legends Killer Mike and LP have successfully connected with countless fans, weaving political and societal themes into their music with apparent ease. However, there's still plenty of things you likely don't know about the duo. Here's the untold truth of Run the Jewels. While Run the Jewels definitely sounds like a good name for a rap group, what the heck does it mean? According to LP, the phrase is quite common in New York, as he told NPR, if you were hearing the word Run the Jewels, you were in trouble. That's because the phrase Run the Jewels is New York slang for a stick-up. Furthermore, the rapper noted that the idea for their name came from a dark place, when he had, quote, personally lost everything. Explaining that he was listening to LL Cool J's 1990 track Cheesy Rap Blues one day, he revealed that the lyrics resonated with him, as the artist was also rapping about, quote, losing everything and being a rap star. If all of that wasn't pretty close to home already, LL finishes the song with the lyrics, throw your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care, but keep them there, run the jewels. LP notes that the song made him feel, quote, bigger and was powerful, something that their fans felt too. Killer Mike added, it became a life-affirming thing for them. Suddenly, Run the Jewels took on a different meaning for an entirely new generation. Killer Mike and LP were already industry veterans by the time they linked up to form Run the Jewels. As it turns out, it was thanks to Jason DeMarco, the vice president and creative director for Cartoon Network's Adult Swim, that brought the two together. As Killer Mike revealed to Thrasher magazine, DeMarco linked the two men up in a studio, and after working on material for 3 hours, Killer Mike demanded they do a whole album. Eventually, after it was released, the pair went on tour. Killer Mike elaborated. LP and Killer Mike opened for Run the Jewels. Then we'd come back out on stage as Run the Jewels. And for whatever reason, people went f***ing nuts. To this day, Run the Jewels know where they came from. LP declared to Billboard, if Jason calls, we say yes. The rappers have continued to work with Adult Swim since their inception, not only releasing a Rick and Morty crossover music video in 2018, but also being a part of the network's single series, and even helping host a televised concert created to promote voter registration in 2020. Besides his love for music, Killer Mike's other passion is owning barbershops. He told Vice's Noisy, our whole philosophy is men deserve to be shaved, washed, and groomed. He added that for working class men, affording to go to places such as social clubs isn't exactly an option. Instead, he notes, barbershops work as places to go to, quote, express our thoughts, concerns, laugh, joke about sports, music. As of 2021, Killer Mike owns 2 barbershops in Atlanta, Georgia, and both are called The Swag Shop, an acronym for shave, wash, and groom. An Atlanta native himself, the rapper sees his project as a way to give back to his community. He explained to barber schools, I want to see young African-American men employed without having to continue to beg people for employment. He notes that after earning disposable income, he wants to see his employees go on to, quote, invest in other things. And while he's certainly giving back to the community, Killer Mike recognizes the project as something to fall back on for himself too. He told Noisy, I never wanted to only depend on rap to the point where if it disappointed me, I just wanted my whole world to wash away. In October 2015, Pitchfork released a curious review on a Run the Jewels album called Meow the Jewels. In it, they quote philosopher Albert Schweitzer, there are 2 means of refuge from the miseries of life, music and cats. Apparently, Run the Jewels figured out a way to blend both. Meow the Jewels is a cat-sampled remix album of their sophomore effort, Run the Jewels 2. As LP explained to Mass Appeal, the idea started off as, quote, a joke, while he was organizing merchandise orders for the group's website. He said, I thought it would be funny if we came up with a bunch of fake ones. So he included a Meow the Jewels album package priced at $40,000. Unexpectedly enough, the idea got picked up by a fan on Kickstarter and was suddenly backed by A-list producers and artists willing to contribute to, including Portishead's Jeff Barrow and Massive Attack's 3D. Turning the debacle into a charity event, the rappers raised $65,783 and got to work creating the album. They also updated their Kickstarter page with a breakdown of where the money would be going, donating the original $40,000 to the families of Eric Garner and Michael Brown Jr., young black men who were killed unjustly by police officers. After the manufacturing fees and other various costs, the rest of the money went to merch, including, you guessed it, Meow the Jewels catnip. Part of Run the Jewels' success can be attributed to the fact that they truly don't follow current rap trends and have instead carved out their own sound. The Guardian calls them, quote, political and angry, with roots in the golden age hip-hop of Public Enemy and EPMD. It's that iconic Run the Jewels sound that connected with listeners in 2020 when the artist released RTJ4, mere days after the death of George Floyd and the subsequent protest against police brutality. Killer Mike explained to Complex after the album's release, "When everyone is ready to see and accept it, the action of revolt and progress starts." He explained further that the two men haven't exactly adapted their lyrics to current events. Instead, it's merely something they've, quote, been seeing all along. That being said, it's not like either Killer Mike or LP are particularly ecstatic about the accuracy of their rhymes in the world today. If anything, its relevance is disheartening. LP mused to The Guardian, "The best thing that could ever happen to the world is if Run the Jewels was just blathering nonsense." Although their music is politically charged and aggressive, LP told Vulture in 2020 that their shows and albums are filled with positive energy, and that the music isn't solely serious. He elaborated, "We understand what messages people are connecting to and the context in which it's connecting. And while current events may have paved the way for the duo's lyrical content, Killer Mike wants to remind his fans that Run the Jewels are not, quote, a political rap group. As he declared to NPR, "We don't care what party you belong to. We don't care who you supported. We don't care what you're doing tomorrow politically." However, what Run the Jewels do care about is social freedom, a right they believe everyone should have. At the end of the day, both Killer Mike and LP are lovers of rap music, two talented industry veterans who came together to form Run the Jewels. LP told Complex, "We're friends. We love making rap music. It's not all serious." Saying that Run the Jewels have been busy since the release of their 2013 debut album would be a severe understatement. Killer Mike revealed to Spin when asked why the group waited so long to release RTJ4, "We spent 123 days doing shows. I worked myself into the hospital twice from dehydration and exhaustion." After the promotional run for their third album, 2016's Run the Jewels 3, Killer Mike and LP decided to briefly go their separate ways, later admitting to The Guardian that it wasn't just physical exhaustion that they felt, their friendship was drained too. As the outlet reveals, Killer Mike turned to activism, publicly supporting Bernie Sanders' presidential candidacy and even launching his own Netflix docuseries, Trigger Warning with Killer Mike, which looks at American socio-political issues that affect the country and the black community.
The greatest hindrance that black people have is white Jesus.
He told Billboard, "You entertain and also give people some food for thought, or at least allowing others to start to understand the world from other perspectives." LP, on the other hand, sat down to write the soundtrack for Capone, the 2020 Tom Hardy flick that chronicles the infamous Al Capone's fall into dementia. As he stated in a press release, the rapper spent his childhood listening to film scores. "They've always been a huge influence on me. I loved helping create and getting lost in this twisted little trip into Al's mind." Although it may not be evident at first glance, hip-hop and comic books go hand in hand, as many major rap artists are comic book fans. One prime example is Daryl McDaniels, aka DMC, a founding member of Run DMC, who explains that hip-hop was born in the early 70s, around the same time that comic books were reigning supreme. He mused, "It was part of our lifestyle." As it turns out, Run the Jewels' Killer Mike and LP, who were both born in 1975, are also comic book buffs. LP explained to Rolling Stone, "Comic books are a part of the creative world of a kid in an urban environment." On a similar note, Killer Mike revealed that his childhood was spent reading comic books with his stepdad, so the two comic book aficionados were certainly overjoyed when in 2015, Marvel decided to honor Run the Jewels with two comic book covers, issue number 45 of Deadpool and issue number 2 of Howard the Duck. Both covers pay homage to the hip-hop legends by featuring characters with their fist and gun logo. As Killer Mike told Rolling Stone of the moment he found out, "I was dancing around the room in my polo underwear." While Run the Jewels consists of two members, LP and Killer Mike, fans may have noticed another mystery man on stage with them, Q DJ Trackstar, the duo's unofficial third group member. Unlike LP and Killer Mike, who have decades of experience in the music industry, Trackstar was merely a Washington University graduate who, between 2003 and 2009, worked as a local Missouri DJ. As he told the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Killer Mike was once his, quote, favorite rapper, having first heard him in 2006. It's that adoration for his idol that led him to dial Killer Mike's phone number one day after seeing it listed in an interview with the rapper. He explained, "I wanted to know what my favorite rapper's voicemail sounded like." Surprisingly, Killer Mike picked up, causing Moskoff to open up about being a super fan. After impressing him with the Best of Killer Mike mixtape, the rapper asked him to take the stage as his DJ at one of his concerts. The rest was history. Trackstar said, "My relationship with Mike is just charm. This whole thing is charm, crazy and pure." Run the Jewels may be one of the OTP hip-hop groups in the world, but their dynamic is much more similar to that of rock bands. Killer Mike explained to GQ in 2020, "We're a rap group almost masquerading in the rock world because we depend on the live show and merchandise." Aside from relying on their live shows, both LP and Killer Mike are actually rock fans too. LP told Revolver, "I just like heavy music in general, from heavy rock and heavy metal and heavy rap and heavy everything." The pair has even collaborated with some pretty big rock names too, having worked with 9 Inch Nails' Trent Reznor, Deftones frontman Chino Moreno, the Mars Volta, and Blink-182's Travis Barker. As LP proudly told Revolver, "I've been fortunate to work with a lot of people I really admire in other worlds than just rap." It looks like the feeling is mutual too. As of 2021, Run the Jewels have a rescheduled post-pandemic tour plan with Rage Against the Machine in 2022. It's no secret that Killer Mike is a prominent social justice advocate, even collaborating with Adult Swim to put on a live show encouraging voter registration for 2020's presidential election. He explained to the New York Times, "Growing up, they were my passions, rapping and organizing." That passion for organizing led Killer Mike to Bernie Sanders, for whom he became a vocal advocate in 2016, even going as far as to publish 6 video interviews with the senator on YouTube. In one interview, the rapper praises Sanders' willingness to fight for everyone, no matter their political affiliation or background, and actually believe in the collective we of America.
You seem to be the only politician that wants a smarter constituency.
According to The New Yorker, Sanders and Killer Mike have stayed in touch throughout the years, with the latter having Sanders in his phone's contact list as the OG. As the rapper told the New York Times, "Bernie is a good man in a very crooked game." LP and Killer Mike aren't exactly spring chickens in the rap game. Both men have been in the music business professionally since the 1990s. Killer Mike made his mainstream debut in 1999, recording verses for Outkast, Stanko Nia, while LP was a member of Company Flow, a trio from the mid-90s. Just because both rappers are middle-aged doesn't mean they're planning on retiring anytime soon. Though LP told GQ in 2020, "We're not f***ing done yet." He went on to note that the pair agreed that they'd, quote, "do 4 records at a bare minimum." Killer Mike, on the other hand, offered up a bit more insight, sharing that the music-making process with his friend has been incomparable in his adult years. "Anything that makes me feel 15 and comes off this raw and rugged and hip-hop and in your face, I'm not stopping this till it's over." So what's the secret to such long-lasting success in the hip-hop industry? While LP confessed to The Ringer that he's not sure, he did reveal, "I've always put my nose to the grindstone and made it about the music." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.